Hello and welcome to Professional Skills 2 Lesson 11, Coaching, Counselling and Mentoring. I'm Eloise from Durban campus. To recap for Lesson 10, how can you make your goals effective? What are SMART goals? By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to reflect on your own coaching, counselling and mentoring abilities and identify weaknesses and strengths. You should also understand the difference between the importance of counselling, coaching and mentoring, the importance of being receptive to it and being able to give it in the workplace, and understand how the concepts covered in the whole subject fit together. You're going to be conducting a self-assessment exercise and share the results, and practice both coaching and being coached. To start off, complete the self-assessment on page 159 of your textbook. This diagram is the simplest way to explain the difference between counseling, coaching, and mentoring. For a more detailed look at it, please watch the video linked on the bottom left. So as you can see, on one side we have problem-oriented work, and on the other side we have solution-oriented work. At the top we have asking approach, and at the bottom a telling approach. So counseling is problem-oriented with the ask approach. Coaching is solution-oriented with an ask approach, and mentoring is solution-oriented with a tell approach. So the difference between asking and telling is the person who is being the coach or being the mentor or being the counselor is asking questions to guide the person that they are helping to get to their own conclusions, whereas a tell approach, like what is used in consulting and mentoring, is you give them answers and tell them the way to go and give your opinion rather than letting them reach themselves. Coaching and counseling both involve helping people to improve their performance. They are different in the following ways. Coaching concerns issues of ability, while counseling is to do with personal problems. Whether you're coaching or counseling somebody, you will identify the problem, clarify options, and decide on and implement an action plan in partnership with the person that you are helping. The first step is to determine the source of the problem. Poor performance can stem from many issues, and you can use these questions to help you figure out what the problem is. Does the person know that there is a performance issue? Because if they don't, then they can't work on it. Do they know what's expected of them? Because if not, that explains why they're not performing. Are they facing obstacles beyond their control? Things like issues at home, resources, infrastructure, and problems like that. It's something that they can't really take responsibility for. Does the individual know how to perform the task? Because if they don't, then that would explain why they're not doing it at their best. Is there an organizational issue where good performance has negative consequences? For instance, do people who meet their deadlines get punished for that by having their deadlines tightened up or being given more work to do after they have performed well? And question number 6, is there an organizational issue where poor performance has positive consequences? Like if you miss your deadlines and don't do well, do you get your deadlines pushed out and have other work being given to other people? And that is an example of rewarding poor performance. So this is a very important mindset to be in, whether you're coaching or counseling or mentoring somebody. And it's about making sure that the person that you are working with feels safe with you. And it's called unconditional positive regard, where no matter what the person is going through, if they break down crying or they confess something that's quite embarrassing, that you always give them the benefit of the doubt and make sure that they feel accepted no matter what, and in that way that they will trust you instead of lying and trying to mask real problems and things like that. An important part of coaching and counseling is to provide feedback. And just as giving feedback on your assignments helps you to perform better in the next task, at work giving feedback can help the performance of others. It can help somebody understand their progress in achieving their goals. It can motivate them if they get positive feedback. It can let them know if improvement is necessary, and specific feedback can help people figure out how to improve. And giving feedback just shows that you care about your employees. Feedback should describe the behavior in question, assess the impact, predict consequences, and recommend changes. Feedback is not as simple as a well done or a try harder, as you learned in your previous lesson about feedback. See Exhibit 1 on page 161 and Exhibit 2 on page 162 for more. We've discussed coaching and counselling, so now let's focus a bit more on mentoring. A mentor is usually a more experienced person who aims to help someone else achieve their goals. They provide support, encouragement, and guide their careers. They can give specific feedback on how to deal with issues or simply be there to discuss dilemmas. Remember, the initial diagram that we looked at showed that mentoring is about telling rather than asking. So you're not trying to, as a mentor, help them reach their own conclusions. You can give them very specific, this is what I would do in that situation type of advice. Having a mentor in a new role can relieve the stress caused by uncertainty. And I think most of us who've had a job will agree that if you're partnered with somebody who has had the same role as you right from the start, and having them that you feel comfortable going to them and saying, I need to do this, am I on the right track? Could I share my screen and show you? It's very, very comforting to have them say, yes, you got it, or maybe try this. And that's an aspect of mentoring. So you may have been mentored without even noticing it. So let's reflect. Do you have a mentor? What role have they played in your development? You might find that in answering that question, you have had many mentors in different roles and mentors for different aspects of your life. Do you find yourself in the role of counsellor amongst friends? What qualities do you have which invite others to trust you? And another part of this question you can reflect on is understanding if you are burdened by other people finding you to be their counsellor, or do you think that it's something that fulfills you? Revisit the self-assessment on page 159. Do you want to revise any of the scores? Yes, even more quizzes? Turn to page 164 and complete the concept quiz. In the next lesson, we will be looking at a particular model of coaching called GROW, and yes, that's an acronym. See you then!